Hey there, writers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma and I'm a UK based writer. I generally write contemporary romance. So today I was wanting to chat about some of the problems that I have had with my writing, in particular editing, over the last month. I'm mainly traditionally published, although I do have some self published books out. And the problems that I've been having are with copy edits, which honestly, I don't love copy edits. I'm not great at the little fiddly bits. And I think I've spoken before about how overwhelming it can feel when you receive copy edits back from an editor and you've just got hundreds, if not thousands, of little changes and comments. Um, all through the document. So, for a little bit of context, at the moment I am writing my first romance series. It's set in a fictional Cornish seaside town, and I'm really enjoying writing it, but it's definitely a learning curve. I've written quite a few romances, but they've all been standalone so far. So, this is kind of different. At the moment, I'm brainstorming for book number three. Book number two, I got off to my editor before Christmas, just after Christmas, recently. Anyway, so what I'm referring to is book one of this series. So I completed developmental edits of that a couple of months ago, and I was sent copy edits a little while ago. So typically with my publisher, my editor will send me the edits, and they usually like to have them back within about 2 to 3 weeks, although they do always check that that's okay with me, and I'm sure that there would be a little bit of leeway. I have never missed a deadline with publishing, and that is something that means a lot to me. I want to be professional in my career and I don't want to be letting people down. But it did mean in this case that it was a bit stressful because it was actually 2 weeks that I'd agreed to. And I happened to be sent them when I was full of cold. So any rational person would have waited a little while until they felt better, maybe. Um, to get started on these edits and asked for a little bit more time, which my editor actually offered me because she knew that I wasn't very well. But oh no, not me. My thinking is that, okay, so I'm not feeling great, but I'm completely capable of sitting on the sofa with my laptop and working on edits. So I wasn't being like completely bonkers there. And I don't know about you, but it kind of makes me feel better if I'm not feeling well to be able to keep going with some things. I'm also a little bit pathetic when I'm not well. I'm not one of these people that just goes, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, I really wasn't feeling very well last week. You will know about it. I will make a big deal out of it. I will make a big fuss. Anyway, so here we are. I'm setting the scene. I'm there. I'm pretty gross, very snotty, sore throat, making a huge fuss. Laptop, copy edits arrive. So I always start with trying to make everything feel a little less overwhelming by just clearing as much of the easy stuff as possible. So this also means that I'm effectively going through these edits twice, which I think can only be a good thing. So I spent a few days just working through the document, just like I say, clearing anything that was easy, anything that was just adding in a comma or missing speech marks or any lovely comments from the editor who was working on it, saying things like, oh, I really like this, or, great scene, anything like that, which is it's lovely to hear. But, once I've read it, let's just clear it out of the way so that I can kind of see what's going on with the bigger issues. So, the real problem that I had is that some of the issues that were brought up for the developmental edits had not been dealt with effectively by me. essentially. So what I really, really like about my publisher is that they make sure that there's a fresh set of eyes for each stage of editing. So you're not just getting the same person making suggestions when you first submit it, and then the same person checking that you've done those same suggestions for developmental edits, copy edits, and proofreading. There's different people along the way, which I think is really good, because the more different sets of eyes, of expert eyes, if you like, that are looking at the manuscript, the better. So the main thing that had been pointed out was about the actual romance between the hero and heroine, which is obviously not what a romance writer wants to discover is a problem in their book. So the hero and heroine, they're both single parents there, um, and they're falling in love, but they cannot be together, or at least they believe that they can't be together. So the feedback for the developmental edits was that they needed more time, just the two of them, and not them with their kids in tow, because what I was wanting to show was how they came together as a family, and how the hero and heroine became, parents to each other's child, and how well they worked together um, looking after those kids. And that bit I think I achieved, but actually, the two adults having enough time together where they were um, being grown ups without the kids, sharing their own interests and their own worries and things like that, that was a little lacking. So I added in some of that. There was also a little bit of debate about my heroine's feelings towards her ex, who is the father of her daughter. So that was dealt with in developmental edits, and that was largely good, that bit. But so copy edits came back, and the feedback was that basically there needed to be um, more, if you like, to the romance, in that I needed to be making sure that I was having enough moments between the two of them, and just upping the ante in some places, but also making it clear to the reader that the hero and heroine didn't believe that they could be together. So I needed to add in a couple of extra scenes, basically just where they are explaining exactly why they can't be together, because there's this attraction between them. And but the feedback is that it wasn't completely clear that they were saying, no, absolutely not, this cannot happen between us. We're just going to be friends. So yeah, so I did that, but it took a long time, and it was difficult to work that in to the narrative, because it's a fairly short timeline um, for this book. It takes place over just over a month during the summer holidays, and there is quite a lot that is going on. So to kind of slip these scenes in wasn't very easy, particularly because we needed to have these two characters together without the children around or anybody else. So it kind of needed to be in the evening. So I was trying to add things in when kids have gone to sleep or whatever. But yeah, so I did it. I sent it off. It was surprising how stressful it was. If you like, I think like what kind of got to me mentally was the fact that I don't think at this point in edits I'd ever had a problem like that needed dealing with. Usually for copy edits, it's much, much smaller things, because anything like that is dealt with in developmental edits. So, yeah, I think kind of mentally that was what was troubling me. And like, okay, we've got to this stage in the publishing process, and there's a major problem with the book. Yeah, and so it wasn't necessarily the work that I needed to put in. It was it was more getting over that hurdle and the worry that, okay, if I don't get it right now that we're on copy edits, there really isn't a lot of time to get it right. Yeah. So hopefully I have got it right. What I have done to kind of cover myself is printed out a copy. I shouldn't be showing you the back of that. You might be able to see spoilers. Printed out a copy of it so that this week I can read through it again. So obviously at this stage there won't be big changes made, but I just thought if I could read through it again, it might be reassuring for myself, if nothing else. And I can also mark in if there are any little things that might be missed, because the other thing is that because such a lot has been added in to the manuscript and changed, and track changes needs to be on for my editor to be able to see what I've done. It's kind of hard to read because you've got all these different colors on the manuscript and you've got things crossed out and stuff. So I just thought it would be good to see it, a clean copy, if you like, for me. I've also requested that I get to go through the book another time before it's kind of finally done. So I do usually get to do this after the proofreading stage. I just wanted to definitely make sure that there would be enough time for me to go through it properly. So there you go. There is the drama that has been my writing life for the past few weeks. So I guess going forward, it's really thinking, okay, so how can I make it so that this doesn't happen again with another book, so that it doesn't get to copy edit stage where there are like proper problems, if you like, with the plot or with the characters or whatever. So the main thing that I'm doing to try to help this is something that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago. I am going to be learning how to outline properly. So for this, I am using my friend Thomas J. Belez's book, The 27 Plot Point Outline. He has a fantastic YouTube channel. If you haven't discovered it yet, make sure that you do. I will put the link down in the description below. But I'm working my way through that book at the moment. And so for book number 3 in the series, which is the one I'm brainstorming at the moment, I am going to attempt to use his method so that I'm just much more organized with the writing process. And so hopefully it will be a smoother process. Character arcs and plot and all those lovely things will all come together nicely, and I'll be able to see if there is a problem a lot earlier, is the idea. So yeah, here we go. That is the plan. Whether or not it works or not, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of set in my ways. I'll be honest. I'm set in my ways. I'm awkward. I can be very difficult. So we'll just have to see. But I figure that it is worth a try. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so enough whinging about me. The main point to this video, which may not be clear, is to let you know that these things do happen, that even if you've written quite a few books, you can still mess up a little bit. And thankfully, there are people there who, know what they're doing and can say, oh, you might want to work on this a little bit more to make the book absolutely the best that it can be. Anyway, I really hope that this video has been useful or entertaining or something to you. If it has, then please remember to boot that like button and subscribe if you're not already, because we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one.